My name is Diane Burke, and I'm a professor of education at Keuka College, and I've been teaching educational psychology. And I've gotten quite interested in the recent past in the whole issue of mobile learning devices and how much power they have and potential they have in the classroom. So in my educational psychology class, I assigned this semester my students to find an app that they thought would be of value in the area that they were interested in teaching and at that grade level, and an app that they would potentially recommend to a parent who a parent might download it to a cell phone or an iPod, some mobile learning device that they could then have their student or their child work with at home or on the bus or whatever. So I made that assignment, and I have a student with me, Jennifer Boudinot, Jen, and she's a mom.
Yes.
And so this was directed, ultimately, the teacher would be communicating to parents. So I've asked her today to talk about the assignment a little bit and about her experiences as a parent, and then maybe how that might play out in your future as a teacher. So when the semester started, I know you mentioned to me that you had a cell phone. And what was the relationship between you and your cell phone and your children and your cell phone? And you have two children who
I
are...
have two children, a fourth grader and a second grader.
Okay.
Who like to play with my cell phone, but I was never really a fan of kids with cell phones. So, unless I was standing there with them, letting them make a call, and that's about it. So it
had you saw it as no purpose other than for making telephone calls. Okay.
Right.
And I remember you saying the less they used it, the better, because you wanted to use it.
Right. And it can be an expense, but it turns out that it was a good assignment for me and for them.
And tell us why.
Well, first I didn't know what an app was, so looking into that really was an eye-opener. But then both my kids struggle in math. So when I started looking, I thought, well, let's see what's out there for math. And I found an application called Math Wizard. And you can plug in your name and what you want to work on. Like, my son was having a lot of difficulty with subtraction. So I put his name in, and I always put it to go to subtraction first. And for my daughter, I put her name in and then division, because she just finished multiplication. And having the related concept, she hadn't quite gotten it yet, but it's funny now, like my son will walk up, Mom, can I have your phone? Yep. I hand it to him, because I know what he wants it for. He wants to play that game. The biggest trouble is keeping the battery charged on his cell phone now, because he is always playing it.
And what has it done to his skills as you've observed it as a mom?
They've become almost like automatic now, where he's correcting other people around him when they say something. Oh no, it's this. Oh, and it's funny to watch from someone that was struggling and had no self-confidence in themselves and how to do it to someone that is just totally confident. It's like, breathing to him now, doing math facts, spitting them out like that.
And you never had to say, take the phone and do the practice?
No, I never even, I showed it to him the first day. I said, hey Peyton, which is my son, look at this. And we played with it for a minute, and then he said, well, that's kind of neat, and he went about his business. And like 10 minutes later, he'd come back, hey Mom, can I play that game again? Oh, you sure? So he plays it, especially like in the car when we're going somewhere, and he knows I have my phone, and he'll be like, can I play the math game? Yep.
How about your daughter?
She plays it too. She's in fourth grade, and she really wanted her own cell phone. And I thought, no way. But since then, she now has one, and we have several apps, math and other. And she's in her room playing on those more than anything else. So it's good. It's a good learning tool, And she takes it, and she does the math games a lot on the bus on the way to school, because it's quite a ride for them to school and back. So, and I do get her to share it with her brother once in a while. So that's good.
Have you had any communication with their teachers? I know we talked about this, but I don't know if you had a chance to do that.
I have not talked to Sarah's teachers, but I did talk a little bit last night to my son's teacher, and she's noticed the confidence in him too, and that he, what used to seem like a chore is now, he wants to do it. He wants to show other people how to do it. So it's really helped him tremendously, which I would never think you could get that much help from a game, especially like a simple game on a cell phone. But
what is it you think about the game that motivated him to persist and continue?
I think the reinforcement when you get the correct answer is so unique. You know, the guy yell, woohoo, or whatever, you know, and it's funny, and everybody around you starts cracking up, and, you know, and he just really liked it. And I mean, sometimes at the beginning he would put it in wrong just to see what it would do, you know what I mean? But then he didn't like to hear that, so now it's like a challenge, and it keeps your score continually, so that you can see your improvement, which he loves to go in and check out his stats, as he calls them. So it's interesting.
What have you learned then that when you become a teacher in the very near future in relation to mobile learning and particularly the apps that are available to students?
Just constantly look what's out there and suggest them, because little things like that can tremendous help, you know. And I think I downloaded, the first one was a free trial, and it worked with numbers 0 to 3, and then the second one was $1.49, and it's on my phone forever. You know what I mean?
Right. What else can you buy for
$1.49? Right. That's going to really help your kid, and that they're going to enjoy. You know, the bigger is like I said, keeping my cell phone charged now, because I'll go to walk out the door and the battery will be down because he's been playing it. So we got a car charger, and it's all good now. You know. But
would you see, as a teacher yourself, then having students use these in the classroom?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's, you know, especially when if you're working on something as a group and one or two finish early, it could be something they could do by themselves, and continue practicing, you know. So I could definitely see it in all kinds of ways, using it as a teacher. And I plan to keep the old cell phones and the chargers and keep games like that just to play with them, you know, in my classroom.
Great. And so I would think I was a believer before. Are you a believer now?
I am a believer now. I was not at the beginning, and when we got the assignment at first, I was like, what am I going to do? What are we doing this for, you know? Really. But, you know, I didn't really understand how many educational apps were out there, and how interesting and fun they could be for the kids, you know. So I'm always looking now, see what new ones I can find and what we can work on. So it's fun.
Well, good. Well, thanks, Jen, for being part of this conversation.
My pleasure.
And hopefully we'll make other people be believers.
I hope so. I'm definitely going. I've told, you know, a few of my friends to get certain ones that I've tried for their children, because seeing how much they've helped mine.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.